You're listening to Tavern Sports Radio Network.
Show me the money! Show me the money!
Show me the money. Welcome to Show Me the Money, brought to you by Tavern Sports. First thing that I'm going to say, overall, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning Super Bowl 58. They won back-to-back years. They're going to be looking to get a third next year. The dynasty continues. Taylor Swift has won a Super Bowl. Everything you could need to know happened with that Super Bowl. Did anybody have any special notes on that game that they wanted to talk?
Just that if I would have done a little more research, my lock would have been different. And if I would have been allowed to change on Saturday, I would have. I forgot Kyle Juszczyk was a human being, and he is lights out against against the Chiefs in his career.
Caitlin Clark, Trey, she is 3 away, boys.
You're way behind. They're on the next possession already.
Really? All right, well, this is as live as it gets for me. So,
if you're wondering what that was, Caitlin Clark currently is 3 points away from hitting the all-time national women's college scoring list, being number 1. So, she's very close to being the best point scorer, best shooter, kind of everything. She's going to be pretty much the best basketball player on the female side of the basketball all time.
Oh, that was a good dish too. You got to turn your head.
She is the box office of women's sports now.
We're gonna talk more about it when it happens. Let's get through the intro a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's the box office of women's sports right now. Same with, as you can say, Patrick Mahomes is for the NFL.
I guess if there's anything to say about it, me and Tyler told y'all. It wasn't the fun bet, but it wasn't the bet we wanted to hit, but it was the bet everyone knew was going to hit, was the Chiefs money line.
Yeah.
We took the spread, but
spread.
Yes. Still, it was inevitable.
I will say the sports book
history, boys. Caitlin Clark is officially the highest point earner in NCAA women's basketball history from the fucking logo.
She has officially passed Kelsey Plum as the women's NCAA all-time leading scorer, doing so in a 3-point bucket. From the logo tonight, she is, as we were just saying, the biggest ticket in all of sports right now.
There's a timeout. They're going to give her flowers here. She's going to get her ovation, probably a big announcement. She's being flooded by her teammates right now. One thing we did say that we wanted to highlight in our pre-show when this happened was the sports talk analyst, I don't have her name handy, that basically tried to invalidate Caitlin's record tonight, based off of her length in the NCAA with a COVID year and the amount of games she has played. Simply checking the stats shows you that, counting tonight's game, Caitlin did this in 13 less games than Kelsey Plum. We're not trying to take anything away from Kelsey Plum and what she did at Washington and the amazing things she did to hold the record for, 7 years. Good for her. But there is a new queen on the hardwood.
And still with over a month of basketball to be played.
If she doesn't come back.
Yeah. Yeah,
there is still a good chance she comes back, just because, unfortunately, the way the WNBA is, she is making more money right now, I would assume. Granted, the brand deals will probably go up when she's out of college. I don't know. I don't think
you
there's
say
an NIL
that, but a lot of WNBA athletes don't get the brand deals. Their faces aren't recognizable. You'd like to think hers would stay recognizable. In the state of Iowa, I don't think her high V deal goes away. But
you got to think, people are now paying thousands of dollars to go and sit at a women's basketball game, which is unheard of before. especially on the road. She is making road games profitable for those teams, like by the amount of tickets she sells, by the cost of the tickets she sells. She's going to be a big deal for a while. ESPN has been on her for a good while, like respectfully so. She's going to be a big deal. I don't think they're going to let her just disappear into the night when she goes to the WNBA. I think they're going to ride that hype train.
I heard, and this could be incorrect. I haven't seen numbers or anything, but I have heard that her NIL portfolio per year is worth more than what the number one overall pick in the WNBA would earn over their entire rookie contract. And I mean, Tyler, you brought up issues with the WNBA. I don't want to dog on them, but some of the facts are there are girls being drafted in the first round of the WNBA draft. And I think they do at least 3 rounds, but it could be as much as 5. I only know it's 3 because Iowa's center, female center, went in the 3rd round last year. But I do believe it's 5. But their issue is there's too much talent, not enough teams. There are first round picks that don't make teams in the WNBA with fully guaranteed contracts, but there's no roster slots. Now, how a top first round pick isn't better than your 12th or 13th woman on the bench, I don't see how that's a thing, but I also don't know how all the contracts and cutting players and waiving players works in the WNBA. So the league's definitely in need of massive expansion and quickly. It's just how do you do it knowing that it's not profitable?
Yeah, you're not going to expand when it's not profitable. However, if somebody was going to make a splash in the WNBA and bring the WNBA some limelight, it could be Caitlin Clark, strictly because she is so talked about right now. And the Detroit Pistons need to draft her, actually, and make history in that sense.
I think people our age remember Brittany Griner coming out of college and what she did at Baylor. And I mean, a lot of people said the same thing about her going to the WNBA, that it's going to, because she had dunked a couple times in college. And they're like, well, now there's a dunker, and that's what everyone says the WNBA can't do, and she's going to bring people in. And maybe she did. I don't know. Hopefully Caitlin's able to translate better than Brittany did, because Brittany was never really lights out in the WNBA, I believe. So
I don't know. It's just congrats to her for real, though, to Caitlin. That's all. Yeah. Give her flowers.
And the chance that we could see another year of this is absolutely electric. I'm all for it as an Iowa fan. Get your bag while you can, because I think that bag is going to come from her playing college in the state of Iowa rather than the NBA.
And whatever WNBA team does take her is going to gain a lot of fans. They'll gain one here. I will tune into at least one game and see what they do with Caitlin. If they stick her on the bench, you're going to lose me. But if she's your game plan, I'm there.
Which is one more game than you would ever watch right now.
Correct. And I'm sorry to say it, but but for the record, I don't watch NBA games either. I'm not a big basketball person.
Fair enough. One of the other things the next thing that we have listed on our rundown today, guys, is the Bears had cut Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair. I'm as much as I like the Bears, I'm going to leave this one up to you guys to talk about, because you guys know a lot more about this than I do.
Yeah. So Cody, if Cole was here, he'd be saying, thank God he's gone. He has not been great over the last couple seasons, but you have to give Cody his props. He was an all-pro level guard. He was a Pro Bowl level guard for 5 to 8 years for the Bears. When we were when we were really bad, he was one of the top guards in the league. When he came up for his first contract, he could have easily left, gone and played for a contender, and he decided to stay in Chicago. His production has been very bad the last couple years, so there's a lot of Bears fans that are happy to see him go. I'm not going to say I'm not happy to see him go. I would say if you want to come back on a very friendly deal and be that guy in the locker room, because he's a great locker room guy from everything I've ever heard, please come back, Cody. If not, thank you very much for everything you did for the Bears. Good luck.
He was in the Pro Bowl in 2019, being the first center for the Bears since Olin Kreutz did it. That was in the 2018 season. He had a knee injury in 2022. Again, like we said, got released today, but he was a 56th overall pick by us. So a second rounder, he had season ending injuries, but he's also played every offensive snap in a season before for us. So he was up and down, but once a Bear, always a Bear, I guess, is I wish you well in your future endeavors, but hopefully we're going to be able to get somebody better in there to fill that spot. But I mean,
yeah, this year he was really acting as our fourth interior lineman coming in with when people got hurt. He really didn't look good when he did play this season. Again, if he wants to come back on a friendly hometown deal, I'm sure the Bears would love to have him back. But he was making too much money.
yeah, nothing we can't replace, with especially the way Poles is drafting. He has drafted good O linemen later in the draft, second, third rounders, he can find somebody to fill that spot or use the fucking buttload of money we have in the offseason to spend on somebody to fill that spot.
We also have Tyree Carter. He was a rookie last year. He didn't get a lot of run. I wish he would have. The little bit of run he did get, he looked good in my opinion, but he was kind of stuck in that like interior lineman 5 behind Whitehair and Lucas Patrick. Patrick's also a UDFA. Hopefully he doesn't come back. I wasn't impressed by him either.
All right. Next
and
thing
then
that we
Eddie Jackson as well. He's just a cap casualty. They signed him to too big of a deal. He's been a lazy tackler a lot since he's gotten into the league from Alabama. And after he re-signed a couple years ago, he completely stopped tackling. I mean, you can see if you go and watch film, he lowers his shoulders and he'll give a shoulder check, but he won't wrap up. He makes too many, as people like to call them, business decisions to really be effective. He's a good hard nose. He's the point guard of the defense, so that's why this kind of hurts. But I think a lot of people think that TJ Edwards is going to be able to take that role. He had that role in Philly. I'm sure he had a little bit of that role this year when Eddie wasn't playing. Again, Eddie, thanks. If you want to come back on a team-friendly deal, I'm sure the Bears would love to have you and your experience. But you got to figure out how to tackle, dude.
So since being drafted in 2017, he has 15 interceptions, 6 fumble recoveries, 10 forced fumbles. I mean, he was good. He definitely had his run. However, again, that being said, this is the 2 longest tenured Bears players getting cut from the roster. So out with the old, literally, and in with the new. We are officially, in a new era of Bears football. The old guard is completely gone. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we replace with who.
Justin Jalen Kmet, and like one other guy, or Mooney. Those are like the only 5 guys left over from the previous regime. At least I get any run. Torrey Taylor, I guess. And the kicker. Those are like some of the only guys that get any run that's still left over from the old regime. I'd kind of be surprised if we brought Mooney back, honestly. The rest of those guys, minus Justin, are definitely going to get another contract. Justin still up in the air.
All right, let's move on to the next thing on the rundown. The waste management tour, or the waste management tournament, I should say. What a mess if you saw anything about the videos that came out from last weekend about that tournament, there was nothing, in my opinion, that looked enjoyable about it. And that was something that we had always, as a group, kind of talked about wanting to go to. If it is ever like it was this last weekend, that is the last thing I would ever want to attend.
So the issue with that I'm hearing is security just didn't do their job, and anybody and everybody was making their way in, especially on the 16th green, which I mean that is their iconic hole, their party hole. Um, and for those who don't know, what ended up happening was alcohol sales got cut off, strictly because the sheriff's department and the fire department came in and said you were way over capacity. Then the only way they figured they could run people out was by shutting down alcohol sales, and killing the party. But there were people going into like the VIP areas and shit, drinking from those bars. I mean, it was a party for the people
Well,
who
they
were
also after the fire department said that, they also closed the gates. They stopped allowing people in, paying like people that paid for their tickets. And I mean, I'm not saying that any of the people that bought the high dollar tickets were out there, but like it's not cheap to get into that event anymore. Maybe 5-6 years ago when it was a little more low key, it was. But since TikTok's really picked it up, I heard front row seats on 16 were going for 24 grand this year.
That is incredible.
Did you guys hear about Mudman?
That's
Mudman.
Yeah, there was a guy they found because it was bad weather in Phoenix over the weekend as well. And they found a mud puddle, and a man decided to cover his entire being in mud, going back to the mud hole at least 3 times that are documented to re-up on his mud. And he's walking around the concourses and pavilions and whatnot.
Yeah, that
He was
was
probably flavor blasted. So good for him.
There was also I mean, a lot of it centers around 16, with it, like you guys said, being their iconic hole. People were trashing the green and the rough right around the green. I mean, just endlessly pouring cups and cans and empty food wrappers and stuff out of the stands once they cut off drinks. Really a bad show from golf spectators. I mean, I get this is supposed to be the one that you're allowed to get loose at. You're still in a professional setting. There are still guys that are making millions doing this, and like it's their career.
I still think that's part of the issue, Josh, is that what the waste management has turned into now is it's no longer you're no longer going to a golf event. You're showing up to a party. Like that's what you're paying for your ticket. Yeah. So
womp womp.
I think at this point you're going to scare away golfers, unfortunately, who enjoyed the exciting aspect of it. I think there are going to be guys that are not going to want to show up, that have the past couple of years because of the excitement.
I think you guys are completely wrong. I'm on the opposite side of this. The only thing that came out of the Waste Management Open that was cool and exciting and newsworthy was the fact that they had to shut down alcohol sales because it's a fucking party, right? What do we say when Iowa goes to a bowl game? It's a party. Load up on the beer. If you don't want shit thrown on the greens, if you don't want shit thrown in the rough around the greens, back the bleachers up an extra 20 feet. It's going to ruin it for the fans a little bit, but at the same time, you're still going to be partying. You're still going to be up close and personal with them. I mean, just back it up to where they can't throw it at the guys. That's the only good thing that came out of this tournament. That's the only reason that the PGA is able to talk about the waste management. But does anybody know who won the waste management?
Couldn't tell you.
Exactly. So golf, in my opinion, getting their ass beat by Liv, having everybody leave and only show up for the majors. There are still some good names in golf, but
no, they've consolidated now, Tyler.
They're still not letting Liv players on the actual tour as of yet. They are able to play in the majors. They're not able to play in the regular tournament events, which the Waste Open is. You're sponsored by a trash company. Fucking clean up the trash. All I'm going to say. Let the guys have fun. You want to shut down beer? What would you guys do if you paid $600, $700 for a ticket for just the general admission and then got told no beer?
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'd
I
riot
get
too.
it.
I'd riot too. And I don't think there was ever people throwing beers at specific
No,
golfers.
they weren't throwing them at the golfers. No, I don't. That's not what I was trying to say. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if it came across that way.
Yeah,
They were
no,
just throwing them on the grounds.
Yes, and to that, bump up your security. Don't let anybody in who doesn't have a ticket. Is it going to be rowdy? Yes, but is it going to be manageable like it was years prior? Yes. Like, do a better job at doing your job and keeping the people out who aren't supposed to be in, and let it be a party. However, with that being said, the ticket prices are going to be higher. Security is going to be a lot stronger next year. You're not going to be able to do this ever again. So, to the people who did get to do it, I hope you had the time of your fucking life, honestly, because I don't blame you one bit. I fit into that crowd more than this isn't a typical golf event. Fuck those guys. They're stooges.
Yeah.
If you want a fucking serenity perfect golf tournament, go to Augusta. All right. Me and the boys are going to be out at the Waste Management getting knocked on our dick, drinking beers all day. Okay. That's all I really got to say.
One more thing on them shutting the gates down. People started going through others. There were homeowners or property owners with their houses that back up to the course, allowing people to pay basically like a door charge and letting people climb over their fences onto the course.
Get your bag up in this economy. I can't blame you.
That's the way to do it.
It's just like if you go to Iowa City on game day, people are charging you $20 to park in their yard. Good for you. Get it.
Next thing on the rundown, now that the Super Bowl is finally over, it's baseball season. Thank God. Pitchers and catchers report was like Monday or Sunday, one of the two.
The 11th, I think the 11th, the Dodgers reported,
Yeah.
right? And yesterday and today, basically everybody else reported.
Yep.
Or somebody reported on the 9th, somebody reported on the 11th, and then everybody else was yesterday and today.
Yeah, so it was a little bit different for every team, but that's not anything that's super new. One of the things that got announced last week also, or at least earlier this week, I'm glad that you added this. Who was this? Tyler.
Tyler.
I'm glad that you added this. The Red Sox announced, or Netflix, I should say, announced that they are going to be doing kind of like a docu-series like they did with the quarterbacks for the NFL. They're going to do it with the Red Sox. I love the idea. I love the fact that they're doing it with a historic team. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that they chose a team that is going to finish last in their division.
That's my thing as well. If you're going for a historic team, as shitty as this is to say, go to the Yankees, go to the Dodgers.
I don't think they go to the Dodgers because the Dodgers are trying to buy a ring and they want. I think they're trying to do Hard Knock style where they go to not a great team. But if you wanted to go to a team that wasn't great last year but still has a shot at least competing in the division, the Cardinals would have been the right call. The Cardinals had a horrible year last year, but we still have Goldie and we still have Arenado. We got the young kid that got called up, Mason. What's his name? Ethan, help me.
Is it Wynn?
Yeah, Mason Wynn. Me and Tyler didn't. I got to see his Cardinals debut. Just as a happy coincidence, he debuted the same week Jelly Roll was in town. We were in town to watch Jelly and went to the game on a whim. So that was really cool to get to see that. Yeah, I mean, the Cards are going to be exciting. Ethan, you're the baseball guy, but I feel like we got to figure out some pitching.
Honestly, I think the Cardinals had a very good offseason. Their pitching is on the old side is my only concern. They don't have any young pitching prospects coming up that are top tier. So as long as they are able to put a good healthy season on the pitching side of things, I think that they're going to win the division.
Before we leave the Red Sox thing, Josh, I know you're a homer, you're a Cardinals fan, so you're saying, "Oh, do the Cardinals."
Well, no,
the Red Sox have a brand that makes this worldwide watchable. You know what I mean?
I mean, the Cardinals not, Ethan? I mean, am I wrong?
I would have gone.
I mean, it's not as far reaching as the Yankees and the Red Sox. I get that.
No, I
But
would
when
have
you
gone.
think baseball, the Cardinals have won the second most World Series all time. That's
Yeah.
just a fact.
I think I would have gone with a team that had a little bit more diversity to it, in the sense of like,
Not
having
white Italians.
correct, having a team. I guess Lars Nootbaar would make that's an argument for putting it with them.
Is
I
he
think
German?
no, he played for he played for China, I think. No, he played for
Yes.
he played for Team Japan in the WBC. So I think that's your argument there is for the Cardinals is like you have Lars Nootbaar, you have young Jordan Walker. Like those are two guys I think that would have.
He got pulled up last year. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I think those are two guys that would have helped you make that case for the Cardinals. However, I think it not being the Dodgers is like, well, that's very strange because you have Shohei Ohtani, you have Yamamoto, you have Freddie Freeman, you have Mookie Betts. Like, what else do you want in a team?
It can't. I respect it. Being the Red Sox, here's why. Because they did say it's going to be like a Hard Knocks kind of spin. With that being said, though, you can't have a good team on Hard Knocks. Okay, you're not putting the Chiefs on Hard Knocks because they win. Everything's great. They want the ups. They want the downs. They want the fucking 6-game slump. They want the 8-game win streak. Like they want that up and down, and they want it with a national brand. Whereas the Cardinals, yes, could be a national brand, are a national brand, but they're pretty even keeled. The NL Central's not that cool. Them being in their division, they're going to get to play the Yankees a ton. They're going to see the Yankees. They're going to see the Orioles. They're going to see better teams more frequently than the Cardinals do in their division.
And I think that would be my argument for. I think that'd be my argument for using a team like the Cubs. Actually, I think the Cubs would have been a perfect fit.
Cubs, another good team name.
It's a team that is historic. It's a team that has diversity. You have Seihei Suzuki in the outfield and that new pitcher they just signed. I think that there was a missed opportunity in reaching other parts of the world that you are not going to get with the Red Sox.
It's funny that you say history because as soon as you said the Cubs in history, I wrote the fucking intro to the first. They're a storied franchise that went 108 years between World Series titles. And they did all this work to build it up. They were so close this many times, and then they tore it down. And that would have been cool, I feel.
Yeah, and
as somebody that's not a Cubs fan at all.
I feel bad for the Red Sox fans. Those guys got to watch those games twice this year now. So they're gonna be miserable.
While we're on like this Hard Knocks style of stuff, look for the Bears to get it.
The Bears are one of the teams that can get forced to do it this year.
The Bears could have got forced to do it last year. I was kind of surprised they didn't. Everything's kind of pointing to where Justin's probably out. Okay, I guess. If Justin's out and then we have Caleb Williams, Hard Knocks will be in Chicago, 100%. I still think there's a good argument for it to be there, even if Justin's still here.
Let's try and get into our schedule because we're a half hour in at this point and we haven't even started the college hoops.
Yeah, I want to. What is this, Tyler?
You will not skip me here. I put this in the docket. It will stay in the docket.
Okay.
We have clips, that come out. They're out on social media, yada, yada, yada. One of our clips last week came out. I am so happy we're getting on people's For You pages. We're getting views from people we don't know. Nobody follows. That's cool. Thanks for watching the clips. How about you tune into the real fucking show? Click the link in the goddamn bio and listen, okay? I went on last week after about having 4 or 5 adult sodies and said that Mahomes has only ever lost to Tom Brady in the
listening back, I'm like, that's wrong.
It's wrong. We had some adult sodies. However, I'm not even the one, and it got cut out, that said it was only Tom Brady. Ethan came in before we could finish the spiel. No hard feelings, right? Just going to read a couple. That's cap because one was to Burrow, internet lame. LOL, don't quit your fucking day jobs. We're just here to have fun, have some adult sodies. Thanks for watching. All right. But
Shut him out. Shut him out.
If I see Miss DeCorlick comment on my shit again, and she doesn't actually give us a view on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever the fuck you can listen to, I'm gonna punch you. But what this does tell me is that we were making enough noise about it to get into Kansas City fans' reels. We were doing it enough to get into Super Bowl talk reels. So there is the train moving that we're getting comments.
I think that thing you invested in last week is going to be huge. I think that's what we've been missing a lot of. I think this is going to help a lot, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I
listen
think
to
it's
the whole show.
And we have
the
the record to support it. I mean, I haven't tracked since football ended, but at the end of football, we had like a 58% hit rate. Like, we're a winning podcast.
All I'm saying is turn into the real show, and you might hear a correction or two. Okay, we're not on here getting paid millions by ESPN to fucking broadcast knowledge. Okay, we're here on a good time. I'm not even 1099. All right, I work with autistic kids all day. I don't need a bunch more in the comment section. Fucking light me up. All right, just saying. Now we can get into our regular scheduled program.
Regular scheduled programming starts with some college basketball. Number 20, Wisconsin heading into Iowa. This game is happening on Saturday. Just a quick reminder, we are filming this on Thursday. We do not have any lines for these games. This game is being played inside of Iowa City, however. You know, Iowa likes to show up every once in a while and piss off some Wisconsin basketball guys, or really any visiting Big Ten team, likes to rile them up. So I'm going to go, I don't know what the spread's going to be yet. I'm going to guess it's going to be like 5.5, 6.5. I would lean toward the side of Iowa.
This is a tale of two teams. I mean, Wisconsin's like kind of middle of the pack when it comes to offense, whereas Iowa's a top 15 offense. Iowa's like towards the bottom of the country in defense. Who'd ever thunk that would happen in this city of Iowa City? And whereas Wisconsin's like towards the top quarter of the nation in defense. It's definitely interesting. Wisconsin, they always say defense travels well, and Wisconsin travels well. That kind of worries me. I feel like Iowa's going to be favored because they seem to be close enough, like to each other, like comparable enough to each other that it's going to be close. So maybe Iowa has the default home team spread, whatever that is in basketball, like 5.5, maybe. I don't know. That's probably too many.
Probably like
that feels like too many. I don't know. I think Iowa will win this game. I don't know why I feel that way. I don't know. I just got no idea. If your line of 2.5's right, I would take Iowa, but
it's hard to without a line. I mean, that's hard to pick without a line.
That's why. Yeah, I mean that's why we were doing Fridays, and it's been hard to get guys. And we come back to Thursday, and there's still not a lot of guys here. Like,
we'll probably be back to Fridays next week, hopefully. I know this week has been tough. I'm moving out of my house currently, and so I literally will not be here tomorrow night. That's why we have to film this on Thursday. But Ty, did you have any comments?
I can't get behind Iowa here after we just got our dicks kicked in by Maryland. I'll be taking Wisconsin, whatever the line may be. Hopefully it's short and it's a good money line bet or a good option for a parlay or something, but I can't take it right now with the way Iowa's playing. We're not going to be in the dance this year unless we make a crazy run in the Big Ten tournament. And by crazy run, I think we probably have to win it, which we've done that before. We've played our way in like that before, but I don't see it happening with this team. There's no Murray blood on this team to get us in. So we're gonna
shout out to the younger Murray brother, by the way. He got his first start a week or two ago for Portland, so good for him.
I don't know if I'd call them younger. They're twins, but
dude, I don't fucking know.
the one who the one who made it to the NBA
one
second is I assume.
yeah. Chris, right? Because
Yes.
Keegan's the one in Sacramento.
Yep.
I want to amend my take. These two played a month and a half ago in Wisconsin. Wisconsin was favored by 5.5. They won by 11. Even if you say Iowa gets a couple extra points, I think Wisconsin will be favored and will cover. I'm going to change my opinion.
Yeah, can't do it. I'm out on Iowa. Pack it up. Start the offseason already.
Well, if you're out on Iowa, let's go to a team down by you guys. Let's go to number 15, Bama at home, taking on Texas A&M. Texas A&M being ranked 15, or sorry, Bama being ranked 15, Texas A&M unranked, and honestly not playing all that well either.
I will be with Bama with the points here. SEC teams at home, you just have to go with it. Ethan, you and I learned that lesson the hard way last night.
Yeah.
When South Carolina went into Auburn and got their dicks absolutely kicked in.
Did my boys get fucking smacked?
By about 40
points. 40. Yeah.
Damn, that's rough.
And in a ranked matchup on the road, they got their ass handed to them.
Yeah, you gotta win that one, Gamecocks. Come on now.
It wasn't even like they had to win it. Honestly, for our bet, they just had to cover. Like that felt like a lock, honestly.
11.5 was a disrespectful line.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. FanDuel got their ass kicked on the Super Bowl. They had a ton of exposure on the Chiefs, like we talked about. I feel like they got it all back. There was 97% of the money line bets on South Carolina and like 93% of the spread bets on South Carolina. So FanDuel, just because that's the book I can see the stats on, they got their pockets lined on that game yesterday. Not on that book, but Ethan and I donated to some chandeliers last night.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
heading back to the Bama game, I think that's the way I would go to after watching that South Carolina game last night. I am still just kind of in awe of what happened. So, give me number 15, Bama.
Yeah, I think I'll take Bama here. I don't know. It's so hard without lines, but typically, like last year, their two matchups were a 5-point spread and a 1-point spread, both in favor, or one was in favor of Alabama, one was in favor of Texas A&M, actually. So last year, they were pretty evenly matched. Bama lost Brandon Miller, second overall pick in the draft. Bama seems like the better team. Give me Bama.
All right, next game we have Texas Tech heading into the great state of Iowa, except into the shitty city, I should say, of Iowa State in Ames. ISU is ranked number 10, Texas Tech unranked. I am probably going to ride with Iowa State as that just gave me shivers. I didn't like that.
You got to go with Iowa State here. Hopefully this line doesn't get too out of hand, but Iowa State is ranked number 10 overall, number 9 in the Ken Palm rankings. Iowa State here has a chance to sneak into a 2 seed. Sneak in. I mean, they're essentially a lock as a 3 seed. But they play well. They finished their season up right. They do well in their tournament. There's a chance they sneak up into the 2 seed talk. And I don't even really think they're sneaking. They might be stomping their way into a 2 seed talk. So this team's good, and we got to give respect where respect's due. It is cool that Iowa in some facet is on the map and making some noise. So
don't forget about Drake.
Yeah.
They make the tournament every year, man.
I think they're out this year, though. I'm pretty sure they're on the outside.
They're on the outskirts. I don't know if they're all the way out yet, but
they're on the outside looking in. But I do respect Iowa State here. Hopefully, again, this line's not ridiculous, and I wish we did have the numbers, but we won't. So go ahead and give me Iowa State tentatively.
yeah, I mean, the thing that's special about Iowa State is their defense. Their defense is psychotic, top 5 in the nation. And to go along with that, they're 4th in the nation in point differential. Give me State all the way up to, I'll be bold, say 6.5.
Breaking news: Farley Dickinson basketball team stuck in an elevator, delaying their game at Long Island University tonight. That is breaking news as we're recording. So they were a tournament team last year. They're worth talking about. So Farley Dickinson, there you go, baby. FDU getting stuck in an elevator. There is nothing better than mid-major basketball. Am I right, guys?
While we're talking about mid-major basketball, do we want to talk about Detroit Mercy?
I saw that
Did
game.
did you guys hear about this?
I did.
So
They were what, 0-24?
0-26.
0-26. They played IUPUI. They are in the what conference is that? The Horizon.
The Horizon.
They are in the Horizon Conference, and they got their win. They did it. 0-26 is the first game all year. They were favored. They were favored by 5.5.
And they crushed it too.
Oh yeah, like 11. I think they won by 11.
I thought it was like 20. They smoked whatever the spread was. They smoked it. Shout out to the one fan who stormed the court. There's literally nobody else.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. So they won the game by 15. So they covered by 10, 9.5.
You know what? There's a special place in the Sports Hall of Fame for diehard fans, and whoever the fuck it was that stormed that court. I got $100 for him to make an appearance on this show. Put a bounty out. We'll find people to match it. Like, get this dude on the show. This is legendary. This is jumping into the ponds at Augusta. This is streaking at the Super Bowl. This is the fucking Cubs fan reaching out and stealing a ball from his own team. This is elite level.
Speaking of streaking
right
at the Super Bowl, did you guys hear about that guy? So he streaked to prove that you could do it as a advertising tactic. The guy is a day trader, had his Instagram, I believe, like painted on his body, and directly like the 3 days after the so Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, and I think Wednesday, his like click traffic or whatever in like DM traffic went up by like 400%.
Oh, I believe it.
All right, Ethan, you know what we're doing next year. You're buying me a ticket to the Super Bowl, and I'm streaking with our Tavern Sports logo on.
He has said that he is doing it from now on. He said it for $45,000 could not have gotten him that much traction anywhere else. Good for him. Good money.
Good for him. He's going to be trespassed from every Super Bowl ever. So good luck getting it next year,
he can only be trespassed from the stadium.
The NFL can ban you. The NFL can ban you.
Okay, my buddy will buy me a ticket. Get fucked. Fuck you, Roger Goodell. But that's the thing. Like, the reason people streak is, yes, your ticket's expensive. It's a simple trespassing charge. It's like not much to get bailed out, and you'll get a slap on the wrist. It's trespassing. So there's no deterrent to not.
I will say that there's also a guy on TikTok trying to claim that he was the one who had done it, and it was because he put $20,000 on a streaker to be on the field in the Super Bowl, which, if you know anything about sports betting, they stopped doing that years ago because somebody.
Yeah, they did that one time. They got murdered because the guy was at the game and put like 200 or 250K on a streak.
It was his life savings. He was like,
yeah, and it was a plus money bet too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was like plus 400. They ended up voiding the bet. If you didn't know that,
That's bullshit.
yeah,
I would have sued. I would have sued so fast.
It put the power of the bet in his own hands. Which, if you know anything
Doesn't
about
matter.
casinos, they don't want you to do that. So
all I'm saying is
that's
that
a valid bet.
that guy also deserves in sports fandom, sports betting Hall of Fame. Because how many people have been like, oh man, if only I could work over the books, and this dude did it. Granted, it didn't work out; they voided the bet, but
I just sued, dude. It's same with the guy that we talked about last week, 2 weeks ago. People got to start suing the books. Like, you can't fuck people because you got game. You game people every second of every fucking day. It's the good old saying, you're gonna get got. The sports book get theirs a lot more than they get got. Okay, so I don't ever feel bad for anyone fucking over a sports book.
that's a fair point. Let's head
Back
into
to basketball.
let's head into a Texas home game, or sorry, a game that is happening in Texas, what I should say. Unranked Texas, University of Texas, heading into number 3 Houston. I think this is going to be a chirpy game. The records for these teams are they're 5 games apart. I think Houston is obviously the better team here, but I don't.
They're ranked third. They're probably better.
They don't see a whole
Houston
lot of
number one in the
competition.
KenPom rankings. Houston's number 1 in the KenPom rankings, and Texas is 25 in the KenPom rankings. Texas might not be AP poll, nationally recognized, but KenPom's got them there. And if you're a deep dive college basketball nut, KenPom has some
spot speak. Interestingly enough, these guys did play 3 weeks ago. At Texas, Houston got it in overtime by 4.
Oh,
the line was 4.5. Texas was favored by 4.5.
Yeah, I mean that's just a classic conference game on the road. The lower ranked teams probably going to be favored. I think Houston probably carries about an 8-point sway with them, 7 to 8 point sway with them, if not more. So you should be looking
this is in Houston, not in Austin.
That's what I'm saying. So that 8-point sway is probably saying that we'll get Houston at -4.5, -5.5. The earlier game in the season could change that. But I would like to see this line probably around the same 4.5, 5.5 line. And it's going to be competitive. It's going to be a sweat. But I think Houston handles business with this one.
Be mindful. Look at the under, or look at the total of this game. Houston's been getting low totals all season because Houston is the best in the country at defense, and it shows. They play very, very, very low scoring games, which is good for them because they don't really put that pill through the net very often. It's going to come to bite them in the ass come tournament time, mark my words, but not this week, not against Texas. As long as it's under 6.5, I would take Houston.
Josh, I was going to say the same thing about the under in tournament time, or not about the under, but about the defense. Generally, that number 1 defensive team ends up out of the tournament very early in the tournament. They can't.
Without like deep diving the bracket, which I will do once the bracket's out, I will do that. I almost, if there was a bet that I could find, a book that would give me a line on first 1 seed to be eliminated, I would take Houston right. Just because
you're wrong. You're wrong, and here's why. The reason you're wrong is called Purdue University.
Oh fuck yeah, you're right. Fuck.
Purdue University plays in the Big Ten, who cannot win a tournament game, and Purdue is just a notorious melt.
And they're worse at defense. Zach Edey gets exposed. But that being said, the thing with 1 seeds, yes, you get a 16 seed in the first round, but then after that, you get an 8 or a 9. Those 8 and 9s are going to run your defense that likes to slow the ball down out of the gym. They're going to shoot the ball from 3 and put it through the net. Like they're going to, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves talking about the tournament already.
Here's your 8-9 seed right now, though. Just so you know, you're sitting here looking in the range of, depending on conference tournaments and whatever, facing a team anywhere from St. John's to maybe a Northwestern who's no pushover. Kentucky should be higher, but the SEC is tough. They have a bad showing in the SEC tournament, depending on bracket. Catch them down there in the 8-9 area.
I wouldn't want Kentucky in the second round as a 1 seed. That would terrify me.
You would put them higher. Technically, you would think, but there's a chance if their end of their season doesn't go the way you're hoping. Kentucky's a 6, 7, 8 seed, depending. I think they'll be higher, but there's a chance. Other teams in that area, Florida Atlantic made a run last year. Villanova.
And been ranked all year, too. Nova's always good in the tournament. Always.
Mississippi State, good team this year. Like, you have some.
Didn't Nova smack the shit out of Zach Edey in his freshman year?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But what I'm saying is you got some teams down there that watch out. You never know.
Well, and if Houston gets the low major fucking conference champion that the only way they were ever getting in was winning their conference tournament, and if say that team is like middle of the pack in defense but can run people out of the gym and shoot lights out, catch me making a couple brackets and one of them having Houston losing, dude. Like, honestly.
All right, chill. Houston, you guys.
Hey, you and me almost saw Kennesaw State win last year, Tyler.
It was not Kennesaw State. It was a Kentucky team, though.
Western Kentucky State,
Northern Kentucky.
Northern
Kentucky, the Norsemen.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that though, guys, Ken Palm adjusted rankings has Houston's offense at 16th in the nation. They're a good team. They're ranked 3 in the AP and 1 in Ken Palm for a reason. Right now.
Anyway, we went deep on that. I'm still taking Houston this weekend, all the way up to probably -6, -7, -8 might be a little bit of a toss up. Any more than that, I'd flip. But you're muted.
Good call. I would also go with Houston. Let's look at the last game before the ad read. Number 9, Duke at Florida State. Florida State at home. Man, they've upset some good teams this year.
Yeah, I mean, going on the road is hard in college basketball, especially for a game being Duke. You carry some weight with you. You are going to have a raucous barn that you have to go into and win at every single time. And everything this year has showed us is every team's gettable at home, on the road. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 2.5 to 4.5 line. I would assume Duke's going to be favored regardless, but don't be surprised if they get upset here.
Yeah, Duke's in that unenviable position this year of being in the top 10. The top 10 is cursed this year. It really is. And the higher up you get into it, the more cursed it becomes. Duke. But that being said, Duke is just the better team on paper in every aspect that there is. They travel pretty well. I'll take Duke if Tyler's line reigns true.
Yeah, I would.
Which I think it will. Duke. I think Tyler's pretty close on that line.
I mean, anything can happen. The books can change. Whatever, we don't have lines. Don't fucking come after us for speculatory lines. But that's kind of where I'm leaning to it at. Do we have a previous matchup this season between the two?
Last time they played was 2022.
Gotcha.
They played 3 times in 2022.
Gotcha.
All right. I would also take Duke in that game. I think I'm quite a bit more confident in them. Florida State would be
so I guess the last time they played in 2022 was technically part of last season. It was in Duke. Final score was 86-67 in favor of Duke. Duke covered -17. The over of 143.5 hit.
Wow. So, I mean, I think the spread's going to be a lot closer to 9 or 10 personally. But
yeah, these teams seem a lot. I mean, maybe not. I mean, Florida State's not ranked. Duke's a top 10. Who knows? But yeah, I would be shocked if it was a 17-point spread again. It's a lot of points.
This episode of Show Me the Money is brought to you by Tavern Sports, your place to get fun sports content, sportsbook lines, and parlays, and of course, food reviews with Big E's bulk product bites. You can follow Tavern Sports on Instagram at Tavern Sports 2023, TikTok at Tavern.sports, and Twitter at Tavern Sports 23. We got 4 more games to cover. Arguably the best one of the weekend is Marquette, number 4 Marquette, going into UConn, the number 1 ranked team in the country.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Man, you guys want to talk about a absolute fucking barn burner. This is going to be one here. Like, golly, man. I love the Big East. The Big East
is fucking electric, bro.
The Big East is one of the best conference tournaments to watch. Like, these guys play ball. They're historic. There's some blue bloods in there. UConn, Marquette.
Marquette's a blue blood, bro.
Like, there are so many good teams, so many rivalries that pack so much weight, so much history. This game is going to be electric. Whatever you're doing, set it down and watch this game, and you will be jacked for the next 31 days until Selection Sunday. This is going to be a fucking game. Right now, UConn projected 1 seed, Marquette projected 2 seed. These guys face off now. They face off again in the conference tournament if everything goes their way. This is a potential 1 seed matchup game. I'm saying.
I've never looked at the Big East lineup. I just always knew it was a good conference. This lineup is wild. UConn, Marquette, Creighton, Seton Hall, Butler, Providence, Xavier, Villanova, St. John's, Georgetown, and DePaul. The closest to a who that you get in there is like St. John's and DePaul. And most people still know who those teams are.
Don't talk about the St. John Johnnies like that, man.
No. I'm saying like someone who's watched 2 seasons of college basketball don't know who that is. But anybody else knows exactly who every team in that conference is.
You know who's at St. John's coaching right now? Who's leading the helm?
Is it Cal?
Rick Pitino.
Or it's Pitino. I knew that.
Rick Pitino. Like, this fucking conference is exhilarating, dude. Oh my God.
What? Georgetown right now, they're 8-16. When we were younger, you had to go through Georgetown. If you wanted a chance to win a natty, you had to go through Georgetown. You know, they're down right now. They'll be up again. Nova's down this season. Give it 2 years, they'll be back. The Big East is so good. They find guys and they hold them for 3 or 4 years. And they always come to the tournament with very experienced teams, very sound fundamental teams, and great teams to watch.
The team from the Big East that I love the most for some reason is Providence. I love the Friars. Unfortunately, their coach left with his bald spots. His bald spots are from a medical condition. Don't come at me. I'm 3.5 whiskeys deep. I don't give a fuck. Go fuck your mother. But they're on the next 4 out line right now. They have a good tournament. They could sneak in. Last year, they had a way better shot to make a run. They didn't. I wanted to buy the jersey. But Providence, St. John's, and Villanova are all in the bracketology's next 4 out right now. There are 3 Big East teams that could potentially play their way into this tournament still. Like, this fucking conference is loaded to the gills, man. I love me some Big East basketball.
I didn't know Creighton was in the Big East. That's pretty far west for a Big East team.
It is.
That's Kansas.
Creighton, somewhere in the middle of America, and it is not in Kansas. That is in Omaha. 5 seed Creighton. Yeah,
Oh, it's
Creighton's
it's Omaha. Okay.
Creighton's in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah. What's the difference
right
between
now.
Nebraska and Kansas? Tell me. What's the fucking difference?
One's got corn, one's got wheat.
I think they both do both. Kansas might be a little windier, maybe.
Womp womp. Anyway, next game, Ethan.
Next game
we didn't even get picks here. Give me UConn at home.
UConn
at home.
It's all UConn.
I'm gonna go UConn as well.
And I'll probably put this game on.
I'm gonna go UConn as well. Let's head into next game. LSU unranked, taking on, well, right now they're ranked number 11.
The Gamecocks made it into the rundown, baby.
Yeah. Well, and this was gonna be our chance to vent about how dog shit they were last night, because I guess I didn't actually watch the game, but I was paying attention to it, and that was one of the most miserable things I've paid attention to, even just on an app.
Secret time. Hey, secret time. It's between the pod and its viewers. Don't make this one a TikTok. But having, the old Valentine's Day horizontal fist fight and get done, what do? Pull out the ESPN app, check the score, down by 40, phone's blowing up. Oh my God. I texted so many people, man. Hey, how do you guys feel about this? Why is this line this way? All of my friends down here in Alabama who are tuned into the SEC and the basketball landscape, they were like, yeah, Auburn minus 11.5 all day long. Still sent the bet out, still followed South Carolina, got absolutely shellacked, had the time of my life to check my phone and just go, well, what are you going to do?
Dude pulled his phone out, but nothing else.
Hey, amen, brother. I'm trying to get that a grandkid.
Yeah, I hear you. Marshall won't get off my ass either.
But bounce back situation here for the Gamecocks. Their ranking is going to slip, but it will not tank because they lost to another stellar team on the road. So they will slide a little bit.
40's a slacking, but you take a slacking every now and then in college basketball. That's
you shouldn't lose by 40. Bama lost by 20. You shouldn't lose by 40, though. But still give me South Carolina at home in a bounce back spot. If you guys don't look at yourselves in the mirror and go, damn, that was fucking embarrassing. We need to do the same thing to LSU now. Like, I don't know what else is going to get you up. This is either going to galvanize them or it's going to break them down and they're going to disappear the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm taking South Carolina here. I mean, in their last 3, their average is minus 7.3, so take the 40-point loss out of that, and they're up. They won what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight prior to that. You'll have that. You win some, you lose some. You shouldn't have it like that, but you'll have that.
I can score again, Ethan. That's said.
Yeah,
home, South Carolina ain't gonna fucking piss us away. Give me South Carolina.
I would also go with South Carolina. Let's go into, we got 2 more games left. Number 6, Kansas, going into number 25, Oklahoma. Kansas kind of got smacked around the other day as well. They were, I think, 3.5-point favorites to somebody and lost, which definitely hurt another bet I had. So them going into a ranked barn, I don't know. That's a concern to me.
They were 3.5-point favorites and lost by 29 to Texas Tech.
That's what it was.
Tyler's sitting here saying you don't lose by 40. As a top-ranked team in the nation, you don't lose by fucking 30 neither. So,
yeah, I think I might lean toward the home team in this one. I'm going to go with Oklahoma, at least to cover. I don't know if I'd go. I don't think I'd feel super strong.
You're 100% taking a dog. You're 100% taking a dog.
Yeah, I would agree.
You're gonna be getting points.
I'll take Kansas and not necessarily love it, but you got to ride with the better team. Again, a bounce back spot. Give me Kansas here.
Yeah, Kansas won by 12. about a month ago in Kansas. This is in Oklahoma, right? Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Kansas was 6.5-point favorites at home. That tells me maybe look for this to be a 2.5 to 4.5 point spread. I think Kansas covers that.
Let's head into the last NCAA basketball game. The number 22 Kentucky team takes on Auburn, and obviously Auburn just put up that shellacking against South Carolina. Do we think that they can do it again against a pretty solid Kentucky team?
Pretty solid, he says, when he didn't know who coached.
They
was
beat
a couple
Bama
weeks
at
ago.
home. They beat South Carolina at home. I'm not going against Auburn at home. Maybe ever again in my entire life. Till they start playing like their football team, I'm taking Auburn at home. Auburn at home.
That was a sideways blow that was not necessary. That's fucked up. Yeah, Auburn at home feels good. I don't know. Fuck it. Jack pick.
Yeah, I think with Auburn just killing that South Carolina team also at home, I think that they're going to be comfortable against going up against that historic Kentucky team. So I'm going to I'm going to go with Auburn. Next thing that we have on the rundown, somebody listed the Daytona 500.
That's me. I did that. It's the Daytona 500. It's the race. We're not gonna not fucking talk about it.
You'll be the only one just because I don't know shit, and I know Tyler doesn't know shit.
That's totally
whoa.
Yeah, no. Tyler and I were raised in a NASCAR house.
Oh, okay.
Also, to anybody listening, just so you know, the Netflix documentary they have over NASCAR, I binged it in a fucking day. It was so good, and it got me ready for this race. I'm not shitting you. This race is so good. So good. Go out there and watch it. I don't plug a lot of shit like that, but man, it's gonna be a good one. I got a feeling. It got me some storylines out there. I'm ready to watch this.
So names you'll know. That's what we'll play, the names you'll know game. Denny Hamlin on the blue. We're gonna use Blue Book numbers. Kelly Blue Book. Look him up. Denny Hamlin 1,100. Kyle Busch 1,400. Ryan Blaney 900. I don't know why this is listed out of order. Keselowski 1,200. Kyle Larson 1,400. Joey Logano, that fucking snake, 1,400. Chris Buescher 1,200. Trace Elliott 1,200. Bubba 2,000. Martin Truex Jr. 2,000. Austin Dillon. Fun fact: Austin Dillon, is he still the only rookie to ever win the 500? I don't know. He was the first rookie to ever win the 500 plus 3,000. I don't think he's been back to the winner's circle at Daytona since, but he's done it once. And people that have won once at Daytona have a pretty good conversion rate. So, yeah, I don't know.
What's Ross Chastain at, Josh?
Let's see if he's listed here. Ross Chastain, 2,200.
All right. Give me Ryan Blaney plus 900, but watch out for the Watermelon Man driving the Busch Light car, Ross Chastain.
Ty Gibbs, 2,500. Stenhouse Jr., 2,200. Alex Bowman, 3,500. Let's see. We gave you Bubba already.
Don't
Chase
need to hear him.
Don't need to skip over Elliott, 1,200.
I'm telling you, this race is going to come down to Denny Hamlin at Daytona, Ryan Blaney. Watch Ross Chastain coming along the outside. Do you guys
Kyle will be in it. Fuck Kyle.
Do you guys remember the NASCAR clip that hit Twitter of the guy who just pinned his car into the wall around turn 4?
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago. That was Ross Chastain. He's a watermelon farmer. His nickname is the Watermelon Man. Okay? That motherfucker is a dog. And he's
in the Busch Light car?
He sometimes, you got to give your different sponsors some different names or some different burn on the car every once in a while. But if you Google his ass, the first picture that will come up is him in the Busch Light car. So the Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain, I'll have beer with him anytime he wants. But
okay, so we're far enough into the week People should know. We should know what car he's driving. It's the first race of the year. If Busch is his title sponsor, there's no way it's not the Busch Latte car.
Let me do some research on that for you. I'll figure out exactly what he's driving.
Yeah. Oh, this is cold. Oh, from Chase's official tweeter. It's classic Busch Light coloring, man. Blue on white. The number 1 looks so fucking good there. Oh, but you can't just have one Busch Light. That's the classic paint scheme. Oh, that's a good looking car there. Ross Chastain. That's a good looking car.
So Ty, while you're doing research on this, I'm going to talk the NBA All-Star Game real quick, just because.
Whoa! I didn't even get to give my pick.
Oh, well, I mean, go for it then.
Okay, well, first off, fuck Joey Logano, you fucking snake. Same with Kyle Busch. Both the Busch brothers can fucking get it on site. Fuck them both. Pick a name. Truex. Give me Truex. Martin Truex Jr. plus 2,000 will take it. Doesn't matter. It's a fucking shit shot anyway. Day of the race, they usually open like top 5, top 10 parlays. Look at those. Be a smart bettor. Throw something on a rookie. Who fucking knows? Maybe lightning strikes twice.
He will be in the Busch Light car at the Daytona 500, boys.
Fuck yeah, he will be.
He will be. Just so you know.
All right, let's talk about NBA All-Star Game real quick. And I'll be super quick with this, just because I don't know if any of us care all that much, but there are lines out for this as compared to like the NHL All-Star Game, which did not have lines out.
Watch your mouth. You're gonna get smacked. My lock of the week's coming from this All-Star Game.
NBA All-Star Game.
Christ.
NBA All-Star Game is on Sunday. The West is a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under, to nobody's surprise, is 362.5, meaning they expect each of these teams to have
181.
Yeah,
181.
Like that's wild.
4 Tito's and sodas deep, and I got you there.
Wish that there was some defense being played, but there's not. So
don't tear your ACL in the fucking All-Star Game.
Yep.
The NFL doesn't even play football anymore. It's fucking flag.
The NHL, the note I wanted to drop for the NHL is Connor Bedard is back on the ice. I mean, as of right now, they're playing against the Penguins. Somehow, after missing 5.5 weeks, Connor Bedard is still the heavy favorite to win Rookie of the Year at minus 260.
All I'm saying with that is, I get it, Bedard. You had a broken jaw. Put a fucking fishbowl on and play. Okay, you know what? 5.5 weeks is. I just can't give you 5.5 weeks. You're an NHL player now. I get it. You're the young pretty boy. Get your ass back out there in a fishbowl and start playing. As long as Morgan Riley doesn't cross-check you into the back of the head for hitting to a clapper into an empty net in the Battle of Ontario, you're gonna be fucking fine, buddy. Put the fishbowl on and go out there and put shots on net. All right. That used to be my favorite bet
in Chicago.
So, just so you guys know, if you didn't see the biggest news coming out of the NHL recently, Battle of Ontario, Toronto Maple Leafs, the Ottawa Senators, they played a game last week. Ottawa, who is kind of a bottom feeder in the league, does not respect Toronto at all. Okay, just so you know, Toronto, 51 total points, or 51 games played with 62 points this year, 27, 16, and 8. Ottawa, 22, 25, and 2. Ottawa won this game. And during an empty net situation where normally you just walk the puck into the net, say goodnight, tuck your opponent in, Ottawa hit a fucking slap shot into the net on an empty net situation. Morgan Riley for the Leafs came in and cross-checked this guy in the back of the fucking head. That is hockey right there, man. Hockey has never been better. Playoff hockey is going to be great. Toronto better start fucking whooping people's asses to get people to respect them, because if Ottawa doesn't respect you, nobody respects you.
Hey there, sports fans. Are you tired of the same old boring t-shirts? Well, we've got something exciting for you. Introducing the Tavern Sports Pocket Tee, where style meets passion for the game. Whether you're a diehard fan or you just love the camaraderie of sports, Tavern Sports has got you covered, literally. The best part, because you're listening today, and listening to Show Me the Money, you can use the code $$, and get 15% off today. So what are you waiting for? Head over to tavern-sports.square.site right now and elevate your game day experience. Tavern Sports, beer, betting, sports. Into locks of the week. We are, let's see, I think only like half of ours hit last week. Ty, you're at what, 6-0?
5-0-1.
5-0-1.
Yeah, I mean, with last week, I mean, we had guys like locking +2 and 300 stuff. It was the Super Bowl. It was more of a fun week. Tyler took a boring fucking line. Good for him.
It still took till overtime. It still took till overtime for that to hit, just so you guys know.
So
Saved by the bell, pretty much.
Like I said, if I could have changed, I would have changed. If I would have done a little more research, I would have fucking had it. Dude had his Juszczyk hit his over on the second play of the game. I gave all the boys that in the group chat. I probably put it out there on the Twitter. If you're not looking at the Twitter, get fucked.
So, lock of the week for this week. Oh man, I don't know if I have a pick yet. Ty,
I think might be the only one that does.
I will be taking Tyrese Halliburton at +450 to win the 3-point contest. It's in Indy this year. Dude needs to show up. It's his home court. He needs to show up. I am risking my perfect record for a +450 lay, strictly off vibes. Indianapolis has jack shit. You've got the All-Star game there this year. Go out there, win it on your home court. You're never going to feel more comfortable shooting at a basket. All right? Tyrese Halliburton, the assist merchant, going +450 to win the 3-point contest.
That's fair.
Okay, I know we've been strict. I know we've been strict on the 150 line.
Nope. You shut me down on a 156 before, and you were the biggest supporter.
But hear me out.
Not a chance.
152?
Nope.
No.
That's 2 cents.
What's the rule, Josh?
150. I know.
All right, then shut the fuck up.
Let me look at the rundown. What we've talked about. I'll give you something from what we've talked about.
We don't have lines. Good luck.
I know. Fuck, dude. That's the issue.
Lock in Ryan Blaney at +900 to win the Daytona 500 in the Menards car, brother.
Oh, is he in the fucking Menards car? Oh,
yes, he is.
That's a cold car. Now, hang on. I gotta go to Twitter.
Yes, he is.
I'll give you my pick real quick, Josh.
That's fine. I'm looking at Ryan Blaney's car.
It's pretty sick.
I'm going to go with, I assume that this money line is going to be pretty tight, and I could be wrong. I'm going to go with UConn to win. If it's not a money line of -150 or better, then I will take the lowest spread that I can possibly get for UConn to cover, which will probably be like, I assume like 1.5, 2.5. So
Blaney won the fucking whatever it's called cup last year. Late congrats to Ryan Blaney, bro. That's a good looking car winning that championship.
Josh, I'm telling you, this weekend, just go ahead and sit down for 6 hours and watch the Netflix doc on NASCAR.
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, fucking poor dude.
I'm gonna tell you, you're never gonna fucking not watch NASCAR again. That thing is fucking sick.
Oh, what do you think I'm doing on Sunday? I'm sitting down with a bottle of Tito's, some Sprite, and some Busch Lattes. I'm gonna watch fuckers turn left for 6 fucking hours. I can't wait to watch them turn fucking left. And I guarantee you, I can turn left better than half of them. Anyhow, give me, that Joe Gibbs Racing, fucking give me a call, buddy. I got plenty of speeding tickets to prove that I can go fast. South Carolina, fuck it. Doesn't matter, fuck it. Whatever the spread is, I don't know. That's the line. Whatever the spread is, South Carolina.
Okay, Parker is taking Victor Hovland to finish in the top 10 at the Genesis Invitational. He's +220 now. But for the record, Parker locked it in before the show today at plus 390. Good bet. Victor Hovland, top 10 the last time I checked, ending the day today anyway, and still getting him at plus 220. Hovland not off to his hottest start this year. He's jacked. He's sexy. Good for him, but let's hit the golf ball a little straighter.
Is Hovland a Brit?
No, he's somewhat foreign. Swedish? I don't know. But he's hot and he's foreign.
He's tied 28th right now. Get fucked, Parker.
Damn, he dropped that far. Or the afternoon field was that good?
He's one stroke off of 15th and 2 strokes off of being tied for 10th.
He's 2 strokes back. 2 strokes back.
But he's in a mess of it. He's in a mess of it right now. He must have had a rough back 9.
What's he at right now? Score-wise?
-1.
Then, he finished his last 6 holes with 3 bogeys.
Let's see. He had a bogey on 12, par, bogey on 14, and then par, bogey on 18. Awful way to end the day. Awful day to end the day. But he went 1 under. I couldn't tell you the last time I went 1 under while cheating, so fuck it. Better than I am.
He'll figure it out, but we don't have locks for Clark and for Cole, but we will get those in. We'll make sure they're set. You guys check the Twitter for those. Come back next week, check out our standings. And as always, we'll see you at the window so you can show me the money.